Hello everyone. So, am I audible?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's start with the today's class. Yesterday, what we have done? Yesterday, we have just added Spring Security inside our web application. Yesterday, we have inserted, or we can say we have initialized our Spring Security inside our web application. So how we are using this? To add the Spring Security, we are using Spring. Inside this form.xml, we have added a property name as Spring Boot Starter Security. What it is? It is a dependency which provide us Spring Security. And what is the Spring Security? Spring Security is a framework which allow us to maintain authentication, authorization, and other attacks, prevention from the attacks. So this is the framework we use to manage our Spring application security. So what we have done, we have added a dependency here, correct? We have added a dependency here. When we have added this dependency and rerun our Maven project, or we can say we have compiled our Maven project and then we started our project. So what will happen? It generated a random password first, correct? First, what it is doing, it is generating a random password for us. Then using that password, we can direct. It is also generating some two pages, like one is login page, other one is logout page, which is generated by our Spring Security by default. So what we have done, we have just go to the login page. If we try to access any API from our server, so it is asking us to log in, correct? So when we have to log in on that page, we have to enter the username as admin, or I think user. We have to add the username as user, and we have to paste that password which is generated by our Spring Security. So we just pasted that password at our username and password section. Then we start login. Then so it will redirect us to the page like slash. If we have a slash API for our project, it will be accessible after the correct login authentication. So can anyone tell what is the difference between authentication and authorization? We have seen this, like we have in the last class, we have discussed about the authentication and how to use that authentication in different methods, correct? We have created a form.xml. We have inserted our dependency inside the form.xml. Then when we have added this dependency inside our form.xml, we got a Spring Security, correct? So this is a one method. Second one was when we have added username and password inside our application.properties. So this is the second method. In this method, we are what we are doing, we are just adding that username and password inside our application.properties. So it will stop our Spring Security to generate random password. So this password will remain same for each and every login, but it is not recommended for the production environment. We are using it for the development only, correct? So here what we have done, we have added a Spring username and password. So using this username password, we can directly log in to our admin panel, or we can say to our we can access our APIs using this panel, username password, correct? After that, what we have done, we have created a security config file here. So what is this security config file here? What is the use of security config file here? We have created a security config file. Using that security config file, what we are doing, we are taking control from Spring Security to our hand. What we are doing, we are taking the control of Spring Security or methods of security from the Spring Boot to us. Like I think we can say, we are saying that Spring framework, you will not manage our our security. We will manage by configuring it manually. So what we are doing here, we have how to tell the Spring that this is a config class. We have to add this @configuration annotation here. After that, what we have to do, we have to add the enable custom security config. How we will enable our custom security config? Using this enable web security. From where we are getting this enable web security? Spring security, Spring framework security dot config dot annotation dot web dot configuration dot enable web security. So from there, what we are doing, we are getting this enable web security. Whenever we put that in annotation after the configuration in a file, it will tell Spring security that user is manually maintaining or modifying their Spring security rules. Correct? What we are doing here, we are modifying Spring security rules for us. So how we will modify it? We have created a bean, and what that bean means, what is this bean? We are, whenever this annotation added over any function, whenever we add this annotation over a function, what it will tell Spring? It will ask our Spring Boot to maintain or create object for this function automatically. We can say to maintain or create object for this method. Now we will see that we are creating method of classes as well. But why it is creating the method of this method as well? Because we are using this bean annotation. Whenever we use this bean annotation over a function, it asks our uh, Spring container to maintain or create object for this method. So it will automatically initialize. Whenever our program runs, it will automatically initialize by our Spring container. After that, what we are doing, we are creating a HTTP. We are getting HTTP from HTTP security. Here, see this. What we are doing here, we are adding a security filter chain. Currently, before this, what we have nothing like security filter chain. Correct. We haven't created any security filter chain till now. How it is managed till now? Our Spring security is managed by Spring framework directly, but we are saying that we will manage our Spring security by using this security filter chain. We will modify our security filter chain for our own purpose. Correct? In security filter chain, there can be anything, basic security settings, but what we are doing now, we are modifying those customs. We can say we are modifying those default settings by ourselves. So how we will modify it? We have to create a security filter chain, then we have created a function for it, and inside it we have passed http security http. Correct? So from http security, we are getting this http, or we can say here what is happening, like we can say constructor injection. We are directly defining http security here, and http is provided here directly. So using this http, what we are doing, we will add some rules over our http request. So from where we are getting http request, our browser send us a http request, then our server processed it. Correct? So what we do now, we will get that http request, then we will add some rules over it. So first rule was authorize http request. So this is a function inside this http. We got a function named as authorize http request. Using this, what we can do, we inside it we have a auth, and we will use this lambda function here. And after that, in this auth, what we have, we will provide patterns. Which are the patterns we want to we have added auth dot request method. So what it is, what is the role of this line? In this auth, it will match each and every URL with these patterns. Correct? What it is done, what it done, request method do match each and every URL with these patterns. If any URL matched with this pattern, it will move forward from it. Now we have added dot permitAll. So what we are doing here, we are saying that any URL with these patterns will permit all. Everyone can access these URLs which have pattern like slash or slash home. If we are defining some patterns here, or we can say we are defining some URLs inside this, so it will allow each and every user without authentication to manage this. Or we can say like somewhere we have public URL, correct? We have public URL or slash URL, home URL. So these are the things which will allow which we will allow everyone to access it, correct? After that, we have, after that permit all, we have added a line dot any request. So what it will do, it will see that any request other than these two will should be, we will say, if any other request come to our http method or to our server other than these two methods, or we can say other than these two routes, we have to authenticate them. We have to authenticate them. So now we have to tell, if we do till it, if we not add these two lines, what will happen? If we will not add these two lines, what will happen? It will not show us a default login page, which is we are using till now. So to get the default login page from Spring Security, we have to add this form login, then customizer dot with defaults. Other than this, we can also provide our custom login page as well. We can also create some login methods from us, like we have created a page, and using that page we will define our login URL, correct? So we can also do that, but for now what we are using, we are using custom or we can say default login page and logout page, which is provided by Spring Boot, which is provided by Spring Boot security. So we will just use this. After that, we will return http dot build, correct? So that's what we have done in the last class. So yesterday, what we are doing, yesterday we get the authentication methods, correct? Until we will not authenticate these URLs, we will not able to access. Other than these two URLs, we cannot access anything till now. Other than these two URLs, we cannot access any other URL, right? So if we go to this line and we will rerun, so it is asking us to sign in, correct? It is asking us for sign in. If we go to this 8081, we are getting some result. We are getting some result here. But if we try to access any other route other than this slash and home, if we will try to access any other route other than slash or home, what will happen? It will ask us to sign in, correct? So here we have to sign in using the username and password, clear? So can anyone tell, if we sign in once, if we sign in once using the password we have created, admin admin 123, can I access each and every request? Can I access each and every request? Can I access this student delete ID as well? I can access this API as well. I can access this API as well. I can access any API in this, correct? Once I got authenticated, I will allow to access each and every API here, correct? But it is correct method, or we can say, should everyone who have authentication can access each and every API inside it? No, correct? If we want some user to not access those APIs, like delete API, we will not allow student to access the delete API, then how we will manage it? How will manage it? Because once we got authenticated, we can directly access each and every API provided to us. To avoid that, what we have to do? To avoid that, to avoid it, what we have to do? we have to use authorization here. What we have to do? We have to use authorization here. So what is the authorization? Have permission to access the specific data, or we can say ask what you can do. Correct? If you have any permission to do this thing, then you can only allow to access that data, or you are only allowed to access that API if you have a permission for it. Correct? So, or we can say what a authenticated user allowed to access. Here what we can do, here we can access each and every API till now. So now we will implement authentication, authorization inside our application. Till now what we have done, we have already inserted, or we can say we have already written the code for authentication. Now we will write the code for authorization as well. So let's see, in home controller, in this home controller I will create something like a get mapping. I will create a get mapping. Let's see, make it public home, or we can say public. Correct? I will make this API as public, and I will create another API. We will create another API here. Okay. So instead of public, we will create admin and write it like admin here and return. For now, we will return. Correct. So we have created two APIs. One is public slash public. Second one is slash admin. So if we have to access this API, currently if we rerun this program, we can directly access those. We can directly access those two API. Once we got authentication here, we got authentication here. I will authenticate my request. I will got authenticated here. Now if I want to access this API, can we access it? Let's see. Here I will write it as a user. For now I will write it as a user. Correct? User 123. Then rerun this program. So think of it as a user, not admin. We are not creating admin till now, or we are not defining any user as admin. We are, what we are doing, we are creating an user with user and user 123 password. Correct? Now if we rerun this, we have to add our program here, username here, then we have to add password here, then we reload it and log in. Now see one thing, can we access this API? Can we access this API? If we want to access this API, can we do it? Can we do it? If we want to access this API, can we do it? Yes or no? Try it out. Yes. Why? Because we haven't added any authorization here. We have just added authentication. Correct? So our user can access admin APIs as well. Now how we will avoid our user to access these API? How we will allow it? We will go to the security config again. We will go to the security config again. Then inside this security configuration, we have to manage, or we have to tell our security config that we will be assigning some roles. What is the role? If I will ask, what is role? What is role here? If we create a role, then what it is? It will ask, or we can say set of rule of permission, or we can say we can say a type of user which have certain permissions. Correct? What is role? A type of user which have certain permissions. Like if we have a role name as user, if we have a role name as user, then it will allow to access the all user APIs, or we can say student APIs for now. If we provide the instead of user, I will write a role name as student. Correct? So if we have a student role, it allows to access students API. Correct? It allow user to access students API. Then what we have to do? If we allow, or we can say admin, it can access admin APIs. So our admin role can access admin APIs, and student role can access only student APIs. Clear? Is it clear what our role can do? Now, how we will add those two roles inside our program? How we will add those two roles? To add these two things, what we have to do? To add roles inside our program, inside our program, what we have to do? To add these two roles, how we will add them? First, we will try to add the role name as user. Clear? So for this, what we have to do? We have to use bean here. We will create a bean. We will create a bean inside this security config. And using this bean, we will be creating public user service, or public user detail public user details service. What we are creating? Public user details service. So what is this user details service? Inside this user details service, we will be storing our users data. We will be adding or telling our Spring Security that use those users now we are moving to the third option. Correct? What we are doing, first we are getting the password from the terminal. Correct? Random generated password we are getting. Then we have moved from the terminal to the application.properties. Now we are adding our username and password and role inside our security config. We are creating a user details service here. And using this user details service, we will create two users. So how we will do? User details user, we will create a user, and using this user dot with username. Inside this username, I will add something called as student. Correct? I will create a username with student, or we can say user as well. Leave it. We will create a username with student and dot password, and inside this password we have to write our password. But before writing a password, what we have to do? We have to use noop here. So I will tell you later what the use of this noop. We will add password here, or I can write student123. And after writing this password, what we will do, we will define our roles here. So how we will define our roles? Like this. I have written the student here, then dot build. Now what we have? Now what we have? We got a user with username student, password student123. What this noob do? It will ignore the like currently we are passing our password as a string, so it will not add anything inside this string, and it will process this password as it is. What we have written after this loop, it will provide it will use this password directly to log in this user whenever we try to configure or when we try to access our uh, user using this username and password. So after that, what we have done, what we have added our roles, and in this roles we are providing creating a role name as student here. Then we are building this. After that, we have to return, what we have to return, a user detail service. We have to return a user detail service here. So for this, what I will do, in memory user detail manager, I will use in memory user detail manager, and inside it I will pass this user directly. uh, okay, we have to add new keyword here as well to create a new user from this user configuration. Using this user configuration, we are creating a new in memory user details manager, correct? So inside this in memory user detail manager, we have added a student name as student and password is student123. Clear? Now we have added it, and for now let's rerun this program. First, check our authentication is working or not. First, we will check our authentication is working or not. We have changed our username password. If we try to use this username password, will it work? Will it work? If we try to use this username password, will it work or not? No, it will not work. Why? It is showing invalid credentials because now we have modified our user detail service here. What we have done, we have modified our user detail service, so it will not pick this password again. It will not pick this password again. Now we will not allow to use this username password to log in inside our application. Why? Because we have specifically defined a bean for user detail service. Inside it, we are storing some user. We are storing a user name as user here inside the in-memory user detail manager. So it will search for this user only. It will work for this user only. Now if I try to log in using password and username we have created, let's check. Now what we can do, we can access our apis using this new username and password, correct? So we have moved from the application properties to the here, and now there is a one thing extra. What it is, we are defining the role here as well. We are defining a role here as well. Clear? Now after that, what we will do, now we want to define some URLs which is only accessible to the role. Some role, for our role like student can only access student roles, or we can say only access student apis. Other than that, if our user try to access admin api, it will be not authenticate, or we can say it will not be authorized for it. So how we will do this? For it, first we will add a new user as well, another user, admin. We will add another user name as admin as well, or we can say we will just copy this and paste it, and instead of it I will write admin here, and admin, I will change the password as well, admin, and student, what we have to add, admin here. Correct? What we have done, we have created a new user which is admin, and it has username as admin, and it has password as admin123. So we will pass this inside our in a memory user details manager. Correct? So now we have two users inside our application. One is user and second one is admin. So this user have a role as a student, and this admin have a role as admin here. Clear? And why we are using this loop? Because this loop tell our Spring security, or we can say loop will tell Spring security to use this password as plain text. Why it is, why we are using this loop? Because using this loop, it will tell our Spring security to use this password as plain text. Otherwise, what will happen? It will encode this password. It will try to encode this password, but we haven't encoding anything, or we are not managing encoder here. So it will provide us default, or we can say wrong password. It will show us invalid credential here if we will not use this loop. Now let us add this authorization inside our filter chain. Now what we have to do, we have to add authorization inside our our security filter chain. Inside the security filter chain, we have to add authorization here. So to add authorization, what we have to do, to add the authorization, we have to define a role here. So how we will do this, let's see. After this permit all, we will create another request matchers. We will create another request matcher, and inside this request matcher I will write students, and after that I will write star star. So what is the meaning of this star star? What is the meaning of this star star? I have already told that inside these request matches, what we do, we add patterns. Correct? We add patterns. So if we are writing slash, then it will only look for the slash URL. If we are writing slash home, then it will look for the only slash home URL. But here we are writing slash student slash star star. So what is the meaning of it? It will check each and every URL which is starting from slash students. After this, there can be any URL. There can be anything after it. But it will check each and every URL which is starting from students. So in this, we will add like something has any role. So inside it, we will pass has any role and student, comma, admin. So what we are doing here, we are asking our uh, Spring security that if any pattern matches with this students slash star star, it can be accessible to any role. What is the any role? It can be accessible to student role as well and admin role as well. It will check if we have a request for this pattern. It will check our user role is student or admin. If any of it role is present there for this user, it will allow to access them. Student can also access the data, and admin can also access the data here. After that, we have added this. Now we will add something like we will create another request matcher. We will create another request matcher here. So what will be the request matcher? we will write admin here. Okay, we will write admin here, and after that admin also we will write star, and we will remove this student role. Now we are asking our, we will not use has any role here, we will use has role here. So what is this, what is the meaning of it? Inside has any role we can insert multiple roles like student, admin. So both can access student apis, but admin apis can only be accessible to our admin. So we are writing here concrete method which is has role. Correct. In this has any role, it can have multiple roles, and in this has role it can have single parameter which is admin. Clear? Other than this any request, it should be authenticated. Other than these, any request should be authenticated. So it will apply to these two as well. It will apply to these two as well. To access student apis we have to authenticate. After authentication we have to check if we have a role access of student or admin. Other than that, it will not allow us to access these apis. If we are trying to access the admin api, it should have a role access of admin. Clear? Now let's rebuild this program. We will rerun this program. Our program starts running. Now we will see this, and if we go to the slash, we are still accessible to slash. After that, if we go to the login, here I will write student and student 123. Correct. I will write student 123 here and sign in. Now check, can we access these roles or can we access these apis? Yes, we can access these apis. Correct. We can access these apis here. After that, we can access each and every student urls here. If we try to access this public, we will get Java full stack here. We are able to access this public API as well. Now, can we access this API as well? Can we access this API as well? Can we allow to access this API as well? If we try it, then what we will get? We are getting a new code error. What is this? Status 403 or error forbidden. Why we are getting forbidden? We are getting forbidden error here. Why? When we are trying to access the admin API through the student user, then it is saying that admin URL is not accessible to student API or student user. Our student user cannot access admin APIs. Why? That's why it is showing us status 403. So what is this 403? It's a error. It is a HTTP status code for error response. It is a uh, error response code for HTTP errors. So 403 represents user not authorized. If we search 403, 403 error, so what it is saying? It is saying 403 forbidden HTTP. So we can say indicates that the server understood the request but refused to process it. Our server denied to access to this resource. Why it is denying this resource? Because role is student here and it will not allow any student to access the admin API. Now we will go to the log, we will log out. We will do log out here. How we will log out? Using this API, I will log out, and inside this I will write a password admin123. Now sign in again. Now sign in again. After that, I will go to the student controller and can let's see. Now what we have done, we have authenticated our user as admin. What we have done, we have authenticated our user as admin. So can admin can access these APIs or not? Can admin access students API or not? Yes or no? If we try to execute this, can it will work or not? Can our admin user can access students API? If we try to access it, we will get result, correct? We are getting result here. Why? Because we have allowed our admin to access the students API, right? Inside this line, what we have done, has any role for student or admin can access these students API. But there is another question, like we have defined our user as admin, we have logged in our user as admin. Can now this API will be accessible or not? Can this API will be accessible or not? This API will be accessible for our admin user or not? Yes, our admin can access this API. I am an admin user. Now it is not showing any error for 403. It is not showing us any 403 error now. Why? Because we have defined the user authorization through user details service here, and we have created two users. One is user and admin with different roles. After that, what we have done, we have added some request methods, and this request method we have defined our APIs to which role can access which API. What we have defined, we have defined which uh, user can access which API. We have defined inside our security filter chain. Yes, admin can access any APIs because it's authorized access that data. Why? Because we have added this admin here. If we remove it from here, our admin will not be able to access student APIs. If we remove it from here, our admin will not be able to access any student API. Let's see. If we remove it, then our admin will not be able to access any student API. Why it was able to access this? What it is showing? It is showing response status is 403. Why it is showing 403? Because we are not allowing our admin to access the student API here. What we are doing, we are not allowing our admin to access the student APIs. That's why admin is not allowed to access this API, but admin can access this API directly. Our admin user can access this API. It is clear how we authorize our user. It is clear how we authorize our user, or any doubt in this? Till now, authentication and authorization are clear or not? How we are authorizing, how we are authenticating our user? Any doubt in these two? So today what we have done, we have added authorization inside our application using role-based authorization. What we have done, we have added role-based authorization. First we have authenticated our user. Now what we have done, we have added role-based authorization here. Clear? And so for today, I think that's all for today. In this authorization, we have to learn about these two things mostly. After that, we can also get our data from database as well, but it will be tough to understand right now. So students, we have added these star, so it what our request matchers expect inside our uh, here inside our request method argument, what we need a pattern, correct? We insert a pattern inside our request method arguments. So what we are inserting here, we are adding a pattern which is starting from students slash star star. What we are doing, students slash star star. So any URL which is starting from student will be matched here, will match here. How we can say, for example, if we have a URL localhost 8081 slash students slash apply. So those star will representing this apply here. It can be apply, it can be edit, it can be search, it can be anything. After this student, this API, anything occurs after that will allowed to check this role, will allow to check this role. Why? Because we have added after this request method. When we get data using this student API, if our URL is matching this pattern, it will be checked by this method. It will be checked by has any role method name as student or admin. If we write admin here again, so it will check for those two roles. If our user has this role, it will allow to access this API. Otherwise, it will 403 forbidden. It will show 403 forbidden here. Clear? So that's why we have added a pattern here. Admin slash star star. So it means after admin slash, there can be anything. So it all included in this admin. If user have a role access of admin, they can allow to each and every pattern of this kind. So any URL starting with admin will be allowed to admin user. Clear? So let's end today's class. This is all for the authorization here. So this is our Spring Security part 2, and in this we have learned about the authorization. Yesterday we have seen the authentication part. Clear? I will push this code on GitHub as well. So this code will be pushed to the GitHub. You will get the link of this code in the description as well. So let's end the meeting here. We will continue from tomorrow. I will announce the timing for tomorrow class in the group, and from tomorrow we will learning about the front end part. Clear? So this is the backend part where we can create a authenticated backend, and from the next class we will going to the front end part. How to create a front end, how to use that front end to create a like HTML CSS, using the HTML CSS JavaScript to create a full-fledged website or web pages. We will see this from the tomorrow class.